Baby, when you finally get to love somebody, guess what? It's gonna be May. We're here. We're in May. Today is May 1st. Baby, when you finally get to love somebody, guess what? It's gonna be May. When I was like, maybe like 8, 9, I had like pop stars posters all around, all over my room. Like there was no empty motherfucking wall, empty space on the wall. The walls were covered up with pop stars. You got NSYNC, you got Backstreet Boys, you got Britney Spears. You gotta have Britney Spears. I was such a fan, bro. Britney Spears was, I would go crazy. I went to her concert, her I'm a Slave for You tour, I'm a Slave for You concert. Me and my sister, OMG, I went fucking crazy, bro. She was my favorite growing up. Christina Aguilera, Mandy Moore. I didn't even know Mandy Moore can sing, but I had her on my wall. I had Jessica Simpson on my wall. We know she can't sing, but I still had her on my wall. Pink. Who else? Mirror, mirror hanging on the wall. M2M. That's not what this reading is about, but it'll make sense, trust me. And so I'm following the rhythm here, collective. Let's start us off with some affirmations here, okay? The word for today's reading, okay? And we're gonna follow the rhythm here. Why it is a bad idea. I ask my wise angels to guide me always, okay? And collective, I want you to get super comfortable. I want you to be super comfortable. I want you to be sitting somewhere or laying somewhere, and I want you to just like take in every word I say, okay? And this is the energy that's coming through. And I want you to see yourself at your utmost, okay? And I'm following the rhythm here, and so hear me when I say, I ask my wise angels to guide me always with insights, wisdom, compassion, genuine authenticity, and deeper truths. Heavenly Father, you are a shield around us, strong in love, heavy with power, shaped with hope, gilded with truth. And we will fear no evil, for you watch over us, defend us, deliver us. And in this day, in this hour, in this very moment, we put our trust and our faith in you always, in Jesus' name. I want you to think of yourself at your utmost, highest self. And as yourself, you not having to hold on to any resentment, you having to put away that armor for a second, putting it down. Do not watch this video. Do not watch this reading with your armor on. That's a word. That's a word. Do not watch this video with your armor on. Keep that armor down. Do not start watching this reading with your armor on, because it's not going to help. I am here now. You see, even Eckhart Tolle, Mr. Eckhart Tolle said in his book, The Power of Now, the ego, in one of the chapters, okay, the ego cannot thrive in the present moment. It just cannot. And as soon as you fall into the present moment, in the here and now, the ego will slowly dissipate. You cannot take the ego with you in the present moment. When you fall in, that moment you fall into the present moment, you cannot take your ego with you. And that ego will slowly dissipate. I am here now. The present moment is the only place where renewal is possible. We're in the here and now right now. You see, you cannot keep that armor on as we move through this flow. The present moment is the only place where renewal is possible. Okay. I'm getting that for some of us, you're very new to feeling yourself out in the present moment. That's the message for somebody. You're very new at this. I'm gonna pull up another affirmation here, okay? That is them cleaning the street, cleaning the concrete. That sound you're hearing, they're cleaning the concrete. They're cleaning the street. And you know what what I'm getting from that is like, you're realizing that in order for you to get to know who you truly are, like your identity, there's a lot of identity messages that I'm getting like in the collective. Okay, this is us dismantling false identities and stepping into our truest identity. And you're realizing, collective, that just reminded me that you're realizing that in order for you to get to know your true self, you got to clean up. Literally, you got to renew. The present moment is the only place where renewal is possible. And with that comes awareness, correct? With that comes pure self-awareness. You can't lie to yourself. If you're lying to yourself, that would be you deceiving yourself, correct? Ooh. You were made for immortality. I was made for immortality. Okay. It's a very big and expansive affirmation here, but we can simplify this by thinking about where you are right now with yourself. Expand yourself from that place, okay? We can think about it like that. Expand yourself from that place that you're in right now. For some, you may not feel like you're all 100%. You may not feel like you're 100% in where you are right now with yourself, but from there, from that place that you are in, expand yourself a little bit more. Dipping your toe in the water, like very slowly. You don't have to make it all like extravagant. You don't have to make it all big and grand, is what I'm getting. Just slowly put your toe in the water. And just feel it out. You, in fact, don't have to be so big. It's like you don't have to look so big in order for you to feel big inside. Does that make sense? I'm getting an image of little Alice becoming big Alice in that process. Okay? think like you don't have to look big in appearance in order to feel big. In order to look big, in order to feel big, sorry. You don't have to look big in appearance in order for you to feel big within. But you can't also keep yourself in a place where you know you're not comfortable. You're not comfortable being that identity anymore. It's like you having to strip yourself away from that identity. And I'm getting like, it's time for us to get out of that identity. It's time for us to dismantle that identity that you know you've been in for so long. For some of us, like, ooh, this comes in levels is what I'm getting here. Why is it important? Excuse me, let me take that back. Why is it a bad idea? Excuse me. Why is it a bad idea to play this game we call life and deception? Why is it a bad idea to play this game we call life and deception? Why? We have wands, we have swords, we have cups. There's so much more one that they have not seen. They have not seen in life. Suppose that spirit is even giving you a chance, giving us a chance to live life differently in a different light, because there is in fact so much more to life that one has not experienced. Even you have to be so willing in giving yourself the opportunity and opening yourself up to those opportunities to live life in a different way, to live life in a different light. You can't always win in deception. In fact, what you're doing, and I'm following the rhythm here, okay? In fact, what you're doing when you're living in deception and you're staying in deception and playing this game we call life, you are not aligning yourself with the right things that is meant for you. And so when you keep yourself at your utmost self, your truest self, how much you are aligning yourself with the things that is meant for you. And why wouldn't you want to live and experience that kind of life when you know all you have to do is align yourself? And when you align yourself, everything was already predestined for you and rewritten and written for you. Does that make sense? I'm following the rhythm. And one cannot keep on continuing living life in deception, because there are things and opportunities, open doors that is meant for you to see, that perhaps one rejects. One cannot actually see because they're in deception. Your lens is false because you're operating in false. And so when you're operating in false, what you see is also false. Like how you're seeing things with your eyes is also false. And you're aligning with yourself in false, with false. What I'm getting here with the Six of Wands, don't you want to give yourself a chance to even see the good. And not the good that you think is good for you, but the good that is being given to you without you even having to expect it. That's good. That just rolled out of me so naturally. That was for somebody. That was probably not for everybody, but that was for somebody. Don't you want to see the good that is for you and not the good that you think is good for you because of your own understanding? Don't you want to see the good that is to come for you without you having to expect it? And not the good that you think is good because you think that is what's good for you, but in all actuality, what you think is good is actually not good for you. Because you've been operating in deception. Six of Swords tells me like, you're on your way. You're on your way. Okay, this is for somebody. You're on your way to actually becoming somebody new. You know, and this could be for somebody who is right. We hold on too long to an identity. We hold on too long to an identity. And we don't even know that it's hurting us because we're too afraid to take a chance on change. You've never known something new. Perhaps you haven't even experienced something new. That now you're just too afraid. 17, you're too afraid to even experience something new because all you've known is the old. All you have known is your old self. All you have known is the self that you've been holding on to for so many goddamn years. And yeah, that's tough. That's tough. This is the only self I've ever known, Kimber. And if I let go of this identity, then who am I? Who will I be? We don't know. Let's find out. We don't know. Let's find out. But let's take that leap of faith and then let's find out what can go wrong from here. Okay, I'm seeing it in that perspective, and I feel the need to tell you that so you can see it in that perspective. See it with excitement rather than with fear or with scare is what I'm getting here. I don't know who I will be, but let's find out. I'm getting like the courage to even step into the unknown and finding out, okay, well, I'm tired of this old self. For some of you, that's what you're saying. I'm tired of this old self because this self isn't actually serving me anymore. You're right. It's not serving you anymore. Maybe one is in constant loop of nothingness and you're noticing that you're not actually really growing or even thriving, and you're just in this loop of putting yourself in nothingness where nothing grows, nothing thrives, nothing blooms. Anything you see or anything you experience, you're just like, it's the old thing. It's the old thing again. And it's like, okay, well, if I just take this chance to actually see myself in a different light, who will I be? What will I be? What will I do next? We don't know, but let's find out. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. So it's like, for some of you guys, it's having to try to cultivate new habits And in those habits will you find a new self. Does that make sense? Because I'm getting here is like, we can't keep playing this game we call life and deceiving ourselves. So sometimes what we have to do is try something new in order to even get ourselves in that deception. You know, perseverance is telling me like, maybe we need to try something new so that we can dismantle this old self and stepping into a new self. Perseverance is telling me is like to keep going, keep pushing, but this time around, I'm going to keep going, keep pushing in a new direction where I've never really experienced a new self. And Spirit wants you to experience a new self, because how will you live life in such a way where you are on a path where things is just growing and thriving, and you're growing and thriving with it. You are the energy that brings light into this world around you. And what I'm getting here is that when you put yourself in that situation, the things and the people around you will also grow and thrive with you. It's a reciprocation. As within, so without. As within, so without is what I'm getting here. That was deep. Okay. Think of yourself. Okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. Knight of Cups. Think of yourself when you were the inner child that's coming out now. Who were you when you were a kid? Like, think of yourself when you were a little kid. Imagine that little kid right now. Remember, we are in the present moment right now. You know, we don't have to hold on to that armor. Remember a time in your childhood. Remember a time of who you were when you felt the brightest, the lightest. Think of yourself as a child, when you were a child, when you felt the brightest, the lightest, and you didn't have to try so hard. Think of that little child. Think of that little child that was just simply flowing, like remembering your essence in this case, remembering your essence. I feel blockages all of a sudden. I feel blockages all of a sudden. This world can like break us into pieces so easily and so fast. And can influence us to do things or to make us think things that is not of us. I'm getting you belong to God. I'm getting you belong to God. You belong to Jesus is what I'm getting here. Okay, and hear me when I say, please hear me when I say this. You belong to God. You belong to Jesus. Perhaps you were always meant to belong to God, meant to belong to Jesus. And somewhere along your journey, your path, somewhere along on your walk, a very dark place, a very dark path, a road, very dark road. Here comes the cleaning car again. You got lost in that road. It was dark. You got lost somewhere along that road. And you never found yourself out of that place again. Maybe until now. Man. You've been in that dark road, and somewhere in that dark road, in that dark path that you were on, you just never came back from it. You never found yourself out of it, and you got stuck in it. How much of this world can pull us into a direction that we didn't even ask to be in? And how much we can easily be influenced when we don't have the awareness. We get sucked in and pulled in different directions where we don't want to be in. We never asked to be here. I never asked to have this. I never asked to be this way. I never asked to be this identity, but somehow this world's got me. Somehow this world pulled me into it without me even knowing. Unconsciously, unaware of where I was going, unaware of what action I was taking and how I was operating. So I'm getting, here you are being pulled in once again. You're getting pulled in the right direction now. Now you're getting pulled in the right direction, collective. But you're going, I don't even want to take this route. Because now you actually have to try hard. Now you actually have to do something. Now you actually have to take action. You see how he's presenting himself as somebody who's like, so, I'm getting like, okay, I'm ready to go. This Knight of Cups. Okay, I'm ready to go. So valiantly, is that the word? Valiantly, ready to go, determined, driven, right? And that's what I'm getting with that card. You're now getting pulled into a path. You're now getting pulled into a new direction, but now you actually have to take action. You actually have to do something. On that dark road that you were in, you weren't doing much. You weren't actually taking any actions because you were just slowly moving, slowly moving in that dark road. But it's like you were mindless. I'm following the flow here. You were mindless. We all face disappointments, setbacks, and unfair situations. You experienced a loss. Ooh, a relationship. This is for somebody, a breakup that really took a toll on you, your mind, body, spirit, took you off your alignment, took you off your purpose, completely knocked you down. I'm getting this song. Love knocks you down, and it knocks you down, and just get back up when it knocks you down. Sometimes love comes around, and it knocks you down. Just get back up when it knocks you down. I don't know why I'm not getting my lyrics correct lately. I gotta get on my game. Sometimes love comes around and it knocks you down. Just get back up when it knocks you down. Sometimes love comes around and it knocks you down. Just get back up when it knocks you down. A relationship completely knocked you out, put you out, and you kept yourself in that dark road when it put you out, and you didn't even know that you just kept walking in that dark road, but you actually didn't actually know that you were in a dark road. You thought you were just living life, but you kept yourself in a dark road that you didn't even realize that you needed light. Until perhaps somebody came around to take you out of that dark road. I'm speaking to somebody here. And it was somebody who's been through so much, so collective that even they understood your pain. Ooh, they understood your pain. They seen you, somewhere along that dark road you were in, you stumbled upon somebody and they seen you and you seen them. And they seen right through you. They saw something in you. This person's in pain. This person is in suffering. Somebody saw you and your suffering. Somebody saw you and your grief. And they had this understanding instantly. And perhaps this took you to a different route where it pushed you to think different. Sometimes we come across people, sometimes God will put people in our path, whatever path we're in, because we're all in a different, unique path, correct? Challenges and obstacles that we find ourselves in. And it makes us think like you're alone in it, but you're actually really not alone in it. You know, we're all going through something, but sometimes God is going to put somebody in your path to get you to open up to a different perspective, which is actually a gift, a blessing. It's a blessing in disguise, but we don't see it as a blessing because we're so focused on that dark road. We're so focused on the old self. Well, you know, I'm just this. I can't be any better than this. Well, you know, my soul is tarnished, and well, that's just how my life is going to be forever. No. You see, that's a blockage. That's a blockage. You speak that way, of course you're going to stay in that way forever. It's like one is not speaking positivity in one's self. So of course you're going to get stuck thinking, oh, my soul is tarnished. But that's self-pity. That's self-pity. And I'm speaking to somebody when I say this, why would you want to stay in self-pity? Or is it that you keep saying that to yourself because you don't want to take action and doing any kind of inner work? I'm speaking to someone when I say this. That you want to say that and you keep saying that because you don't want to do any inner work. You're saying is, oh, my soul is so tarnished. What you're saying is you want to stay being tarnished. That's what you're saying. You want to stay in that dark path. You want to stay in that dark road. That's what you're saying. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. Whoever found you in that dark road, their empathy for you and your self-pity opened you up. And now, for some, what I'm getting here is like, it's actually really pissing you off because you can't get out of the circumstance. It's like, it's pissing somebody off and it's actually really rattling somebody. Something is just like shaking inside one's temple. Because this is what is actually pushing somebody to do the inner work. You can't stay mad forever. You can't stay angry and stay in that anger forever. You can't stay in that self-pity forever. When you stay in that self-pity, you're going to get triggered all the time. So perhaps one stepped into your life because they're pushing you to try something new, to become somebody new, because you have to try something new. It's the new that one is scared of. I'm following the rhythm here. It is the new that somebody is scared of. What did you do, collective? I think sometimes we're too afraid to try something new and to step into something new because the new shows the truth. And when one sees the truth, it scares you. Because in the truth, you see you. You see you. In the truth, you see you. And you don't like the things that you have done. You don't like the things that you took action. You don't like it. But perhaps in facing all of that, it's going to take you out of the self-pity. It's going to take you out of the fear. It's going to take you out of shame. It's going to take you out of guilt. A lot of us have been holding on to shame and guilt. So those are the number one killers of our health, our inner self. Wow. So why is it a bad idea to continue life in playing this game we called life and deception? Because you're meant to, you're simply meant to live life in your truth. Because in the truth, there is goodness. In the truth, there's God's goodness. And that's what we are afraid of. Because God's going to show you the truth of it all. Sometimes even the things that you're not proud of, even the things that you were not proud of in doing. It's like, I will bring you the truth, my child, and you're not going to like it. But what if I told you that in the truth, you will also find who you really are, and that is going to bring you back to your own inner self, which is your inner child. Like, it's just gonna bring you back home. I feel like I just did a reading. Yes, I did a reading, okay. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. You haven't been on the lighter side of life, and I'm speaking to somebody here. You have not been on the lighter side of life because your lens is deceiving you. And you thought this whole time you've been living your life in true, but in fact, what's been happening, you having to live this life, you actually have been living this life in deception. Because this world can easily pull you in to deception. Greater is he that is in me than this thing that is in the world. You've been on that dark path, so how can you focus on the lighter things in life? Sometimes you gotta open your eyes. Sometimes the blockage is envy. Sometimes the blockage is jealousy. I wrote this down. Where are we? 41 minutes. Sometimes the blockage, it's the blockages that is the problem. Jealousy is the problem. Envy is the problem. Animosity is the problem. Copycats is the problem. Confusion is the problem. One's insecurity is the problem. Fault finding is the problem. Falsehood is the problem. Sometimes it's the truth we are afraid of, but it is actually the truth that is going to save us. The truth will set us free. You ever heard that? The truth will set you free. Fear will keep you bondaged for as long as it can. I am going to end this with an affirmation. And thank you guys for being so patient with me. And I want to add also, and I've been meaning to say this, but I forget. You guys are so sweet on the comments. And I appreciate you guys for your support. I've been on this journey, okay, of being on this walk with the Lord and being on this walk with the Holy Spirit. And it's been, truly, it's been a gift. Because I've never known life so like bright, like I'm telling you guys, like I've never known life so bright. I'm 34. I have really, really just gotten to really appreciate life for my life. Okay, I've only really began to really appreciate life at 30. Because, to be quite honest, my life before 30, I was just drunk the whole time. I literally was drunk the whole time. My life before 30 was chaotic, messy. I was, in fact, in that dark road for a long fucking time until I woke up. And when I woke up, man, I was like, why did I ever put myself in situations where I kept getting trapped, manipulated, and controlled by others? And it's so important to get to know your own mind for yourself. It's so important for you to get to know your own mind for yourself. And up until I turned 30 is when I actually really woke up to life with a completely different lens. I wasn't drunk anymore. I wasn't high. I was probably high on life, you know, But I've never, and I'm telling you guys, truth be told, I've never lived a life where I can truly, honestly say, like, this is good, this is great. And to other people, this may not look all grand and big and rich, you know, for what it looks like on the outside, but inside, I'm good. I'm good. It's funny too, because people be fucking coming up to me and humbling me and shit. Lately, they've been like trying to humble me. And I just laugh at it because they have no fucking idea what kind of path like I've been on and where God has been placing me and the experience I have with what he's been giving to me, you know, what I've been receiving from that. And so I just laugh at the people that try to humble me, because these are actually people who have the biggest fucking ego. And most of these people are men, to be quite honest. It's kind of sad. How unfortunate, you know? Because I'm always open to, whether you're a female or a male, I'm always open to get to know people. And I get so excited and thrilled to get to know people's essence. And so when they come to me and approach me and trying to humble me, I just laugh. Because how the fuck are you gonna come over here and try to humble me when you be walking around with that ego, carrying that ego around? Like, bro, come on, get out of here. I am a devoted warrior of the universe. Yes. Battle. Yes, exactly. Unleash the inner warrior. Unleash the inner warrior. That was the reading, you guys. And I want to, again, say thank you for your support. You guys are very sweet on the comments. It tells me that I'm right where I am supposed to be. Every time I get bogged down by a family member because they think that what I do here is not work. And I've always been so devoted and loyal to the work that I do here and speaking to you guys. And every single time a family member will discourage me, and I notice this, okay, and I'm gonna tell you guys, and I'm finally gonna tell you guys, okay, every single time a family member discourages me and tells me that this work that I do is not actually work, every single time a family member discourages me, a notification pops up on my YouTube, and it's usually the most sweetest comments. Thank you so much for this reading. This was for me. This helped me a lot. Thank you so much. When I read comments like that, it debunks the discouragement that I feel from that family member. Do you get me? And it's almost every single time when somebody is attacking me, when a family member is attacking me and they're discouraging me for the work that I do here, because they don't want me to believe that the work that I do here is actually real. But I know it's real because it comes from the source. And so every single time they do that to me, here comes a notification coming from somebody that I've never met before. And they're telling me, this found me at the right time. This really helped me, thank you. So thank you, collective. Thank you. Thank you for your support. And to those who share like their story, like when you're sharing something, like a little bit of your story, I love that. So share your story. Share your experience. Share yourself. I'd love to hear it. So, thank you guys. And I hope this reading helped you. And I will see you guys in the next.